Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. I've actually gotten to the point where I feel guilty at this very moment when I don't do this. And I know it's so important for all of us to do this, how it can move your life forward, bring you things that you want, you feel you deserve. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about gratitude and writing in a gratitude journal. I did not do it this morning. I intentionally got up early, took the dog out, figured I'd get back to it. I didn't do it. And actually now I'm at the point where I feel guilty if I don't practice gratitude. And I do it in a journal on a regular basis. That's what we're going to talk about today. That one word can be a game changer in your life.
Absolutely. 100%.
Bring those things to you that you feel you deserve. She's a law of assumption coach, and this is what she practices to help bring those things, those good things in your life. And she's Susan Carabello. She's here.
Hi.
From the other side of the planet. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Excited to be here.
Beautiful Costa Rica is where you're at today. And I love how you continue to practice what you preach. You're there for a retreat. So I'm sure that's for yourself, but also to learn how you can help others too, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's the one thing is that when we're in a community of like-minded people, we can share ideas and those ideas can help us. Maybe we don't see it like when we're doing our everyday stuff, but like being around like-minded people, you can share ideas. And sometimes those ideas can help you move forward as well.
For sure. Well, that's what we're doing here today. We're sharing ideas. If you told me, I don't know, 5 years ago that, you need to practice gratitude, I'd say, yeah, I am grateful. And the typical things that everybody says, and it's fine. I'm grateful for my life, my kids and those things. And that's all fantastic. But practicing gratitude goes deeper than just that, right?
Yes, it does. It's actually, it can change your energetic vibration in your body, in your cells. It is a known fact that being grateful, being appreciative of the things around you and where you are can actually change your energy. And energy, as we know, is everything. Energy is money is energy. Love is energy. Success, happiness, joy is energy. But on the flip side, there are energies also being doubtful, being worrisome, insecure, right? So we get to pick and choose which energies we want to entertain. But some are based in lack and fear. Gratitude is based in love. So that's how you can look at it. If you are grateful.
Give us that one more time because it's so important.
Sure. Yes. So the lower vibrational energies, worry, insecurity, fear, doubt are really based in fear energy. Whereas love, the energy of money, abundance, what I will use, love, abundance, success, joy, peacefulness, excitement, is all rooted in gratitude and love. And that's the driving force behind it.
Wow. Do you believe that when you practice gratitude, that the universe looks at that and says, oh, you're grateful for that. Let me bring you more.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Because if you're not grateful for what you have right now, then how can you expect to call in the other things that you wish to experience in your life? You have to be grateful in this moment because recognize that everything in life is either a lesson or a blessing or both, right? The way I perceive it is that everything in life is a lesson and we may not see the lesson right now, but maybe a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll actually realize that it was a blessing because it put you on the path where you're supposed to go. And in doing that, you can actually be grateful for it. Right. And then once you change that energy and you change that into gratitude, it's like, oh, okay, so she's okay with this experience. Like she's learned the lesson from it. You transmuted it from fear into love. And when you do that, like you can be grateful for every experience that comes into your life.
How do you get to that point where when things happen, of course, right away we go into the victim mode. Understandable. Why me? Why does that have to happen to me? Really? Another problem? Jeez. Okay. How do you, because this is my understanding, my feeling that when you start practicing gratitude and the more positivity in your life, this stuff's going to show up. You may do that for
Yeah.
a split second, but then you move out of it faster.
Right.
How
Yes.
how do you get to that point where you can keep moving faster out of that the victim mode?
Sure. Well, it's recognizing when you start to go into victim mode, right? That's the big. It's awareness, right? It's whatever you're putting into your conscious awareness is what you are asking the universe for you to experience. Right? That's the basis of the law of assumption. Whatever you assume to be true is. So, as much as you may not want to, sometimes these fears, insecurities, doubts come up, right? But they're coming up for a reason. They're coming up to be transmuted from fear into love. And the only way to get there is to be grateful. Be like, I'm so grateful that you showed me this. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, source, whatever you believe in. Because once you can get into that mindset and really be grateful that they're showing you, they're guiding you that like, look, you have all this stuff, lying underneath the surface here. But if you really are okay with this, we're showing you the way. We're showing you the lesson. How can you be grateful for it? And that's it. You just have to be conscious and aware of the thoughts that are, I guess, operating beneath the surface, our underlying and subconscious beliefs.
When it comes to, and I want to get into how to practice gratitude in just a moment, but do you feel that life has a lesson for you? Many different lessons. We're here to learn and we're here to teach.
Yes.
And if you don't realize the lesson and be grateful for it, do you feel that the universe is just going to show it to you over again and over again until you you truly get it?
Until you truly get it. Carl Jung is one of my favorite. Has one of my favorite quotes. Until the unconscious becomes conscious, you will repeat the same pattern and call it fate.
Well, I am going to write that down right now. And
I'm going to say it again because I know that it was probably a little convoluted.
No worries.
Until the unconscious becomes conscious, you will repeat the same pattern and call it fate. I probably reworded it a little bit, but the idea is that until you bring the unconscious beliefs up to the surface, you're still going to repeat that same pattern and be like, look, I expected this. Well, yeah, of course, because that's your unconscious belief. And until you bring that belief to the light, you're going to just keep repeating the same pattern over and over and being like, well, why don't my relationships work out? Why do I always get fired from my job? Like whatever the belief is, we have to remember that we're the creator of our life. And sometimes the beliefs that we have are unconscious or subconscious. And that's why these patterns keep coming up and over and over and over again.
I want to share the victim thing. An example of something that happened to me recently, and I shared with you last time we got together. I had gone away, came back, caught some kind of virus, and never got sick.
Yes.
Had acute laryngitis.
Yes.
Couldn't talk, couldn't work. And I went to the ENT like 12 days ago, and he said to me that you may need therapy to learn how to talk again. He said that you are a 6 on a 10 of severity scale, and said some other things. And I just looked at him like, I didn't even know, well, I couldn't say anything, but I didn't know what to say at that moment.
Right.
I left, drove home, sat down, felt lost for a moment because this is my livelihood. This is what I've been doing since literally I was a kid. And I'm thinking to myself, what now? And if it was 5 years ago, I would have been freaking out. And the what ifs and why's me, like, really, come on. And I just stopped myself. And it was a moment. I had a moment. I got to tell you, it was, I was lost for that moment. And then I was like listening to within and thinking, you're going to be okay. Despite what he said, listen, your voice comes back. Maybe it'll be deeper. Different. I looked at different angles and they all seemed okay. And here I am. I have no issues. I'm talking. My voice is like 95%. It's all good. No, I feel fantastic. But that's how I turned it around. And I was grateful that whatever came my way, it would be okay because that's what's supposed to happen anyway.
Well, and that's the case, right? So if we can see in that moment that, okay, in a case like that, you were conscious enough and aware enough that like, okay, I have an opportunity to make a choice here. If I know that I'm co-creating with the universe, Like I have the opportunity to make a conscious choice to either choose what the doctor is telling me and believing that, I'm never going to use my voice again, or I can choose that everything's going to work out and I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Despite what he's saying. Right. And what happened? You're here today and you're feeling better. And that was the conscious choice. Right. And then you're grateful for that moment. Be like, I'm so grateful that he showed me that this is, what is potentially going to happen, because now I have the opportunity to take care of myself better. I have the opportunity to really decide what this is going to be for me. Am I going to fall into that victim mode and be like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to speak again. I'm going to not have this job. Or, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to use vocal exercises or whatever to rebuild my strength, whatever you did to make yourself feel better. You took yourself out of the victim mode and put yourself in the driver's seat as the creator. And that's literally what the law of assumption, that's what I teach, is how can we get you out of victim mode and put you in the driver's seat? You're not the passenger in the car. You're driving it.
You're always in control because you have the power to make a choice. And I'm far from perfect. And I'm not saying, hey,
and none of us are.
You did a great job, Steve, with that. I just did what I felt. And I am.
You trusted yourself.
I did. And I trusted the universe.
Yes.
I am so grateful that happened. And as I look back 3 weeks ago, I'm lying in bed. I never get sick. I have a fever. I'm coughing up a lung. What the heck is going on? I'm going to get pneumonia. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, it's going to be all right. Susan, I'm so grateful that it happened to me.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because I believe it was the universe's way of saying, dude, you need to slow down. And,
exactly.
And
exactly.
By slowing down all summer long, I was just working hard, working. I kept saying, I want to take my kayak out. I never have any time.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? 3 times in a week, solo, because I couldn't talk with anybody, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I went out. I had a wonderful time in my kayak. I was relaxed. I was great. I'm still relaxed. And I got clarity on some, situations, some ideas and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, calm, chill. It's all good. So thank you. I'm grateful. I am grateful.
Yes. And that's exactly what the universe wants. Like they now will give you more of that. Why? Because you saw it as a gift, right? It was an opportunity for you to stop and take care of yourself, right? That's the universe's way of saying you have to take care of yourself. We're going to force you to take care of yourself.
And it did it the best way possible because, I could have had...
The weather was perfect.
The weather was perfect. I could have had a, sprained ankle and I couldn't walk. Well, I could still get to work and I could still talk. So therefore I wouldn't be taking time off. It got me it got me good. It did what it needed to do. And I know it. There's not even a doubt in my mind that that's why that happened. But I could have freaked. And 5 years ago, oh man, I would have been freaking out, have anxiety. Yeah. What am I going to do? Woe's me. I didn't do anything.
And a lot of us, that's
I know.
Where we're conditioned, right? We're conditioned to like the worst case scenario is being presented. We as humans are doing what we are trained to do to survive, right? Yeah. So we're now going to pull up, our brains are going to just logically pull up every scenario that possibly could happen so that we can start preparing for the worst thing to happen.
Right.
Or you can choose over here and be like, no, that's not going to happen. And it is what it is. And we're going to be fine and we're good. Can you trust that inner knowing, that intuition, that intuitive voice, right? Our soul speaking, right? I call it the soul speak. Can you trust the soul speaking to you and saying, yes, you're going to be fine. Don't worry. Just take a break, take a moment, relax, and be grateful now, because now you have this opportunity to see it for what it is. Can I operate from a state of fear, or can I choose love and choose the energy of gratitude, which is going to give me more things to be grateful for and more things to be loving for? Right? Then it snowballs. That's the momentum effect, right? Because once you're a little grateful for this, you're a little grateful for something else. And then all of a sudden the snowball just continues to churn.
I don't like to use these words, but it's the best description I have.
Yes.
What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Those that, are deep into subconscious neurolinguistics programming, you're actually telling your subconscious worst happen, worse. But I'm using those words to illustrate what I believe is a point. If you think about the worst case scenario, it's not, how do you know it's going to happen anyway?
Well, there's a plethora of things that you can choose from, right? Like I use the buffet,
Yeah, that's
right?
great.
You have a buffet in front of you. You have chicken, you have fish, you have beef, you have pork, you have lamb, you have liver, right? Now you have all these different proteins on your plate, but you can't stand the liver. So, but what happens is like, oh my God, you detest the liver and you're like, but you keep focusing on it. So what happens? The next time you go to a buffet, there's going to be liver on the buffet, right? Because that's where your energy is. Can you be grateful for the other things that you get to choose from and pick something else? But we look for the worst case scenario. The liver might be on the buffet. I don't know if I want to go to the buffet, but you could just focus on the fact that like the chicken is really great or the fish is amazing. And you can pick one of those two things, but right, our victim brain sometimes goes to worst case scenario, preparing us. Oh, there might be something on the buffet that I don't like. I don't know if this is a good idea. And the more we feed that, what happens? Whatever you focus on grows, right? So you focus on the worst case scenario, then, a year from now, you're going to go to a buffet and guess what's going to be there? Liver, right? When I first started studying, spiritual law, I was focused on the law of attraction. I think we spoke about the differences between one and the other. And my safe space was when I would get anxious or overwhelmed, I would start to think about chocolate donuts, right? That was my safety thing. Like everyone's got a safety thing to snap them out of the victim mindset. My thing was chocolate donuts. Well, can I tell you, I went different places and every time I would go there would be like a variety of chocolate donuts.
Really?
I went to a party and on the buffet, it was a Halloween party, right? So there's candy. It's in the evening. There's candy. There's finger foods, whatnot. And what's in a box in the back? I opened it up, chocolate donut holes. I was like, but that was like, I started seeing them everywhere, right? Because in my conscious awareness, what was I doing? I was trying to get out of the fear state. So I would focus on something to get me out of the fear state and get me out of my anxiety that, oh my God, I don't want to feel this other thing. So I'm going to focus on chocolate donuts, right? And that chocolate donuts, like, oh, I love chocolate donuts. They taste so good, and then of course that would change my energy. And I was like, oh God, I'm so grateful for the chocolate donuts. So I would see them everywhere. And I wasn't like, at one point I started laughing because I'm like, you know what? Like, you got to pick something else. Like if you're choosing chocolate donuts, like, find $1 instead, right? Like, it's the whole idea is that, can you just be grateful, right? Recognize that sometimes things come up, see it for a lesson, see it as a lesson so that you can take it. Don't do like I did with the chocolate donuts, see it as a lesson. Really sit with that uncomfortable feeling because what your body is asking you is like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. How can I transmute this feeling into something that feels better? And it's not the chocolate donuts. How can you love that part of you and accept that part of you? The one that is screaming in fear, that it's afraid of whatever it's experiencing. Can you A, accept it, and B, be grateful for that moment, be grateful for it, and change that fear into love? And how do you change the fear into love? By literally just changing your mind, being like, what? I'm so grateful that you showed me this. I don't believe that thought anymore. I know how powerful I am. I know I'm being divinely guided. I know I'm in the driver's seat. I'm choosing this instead. And it's that simple. And then you walk in that, like, literally you go from like down here to up here, right? You move the energy from this lower vibrational state into something that is, gratitude, appreciation, love, excitement, joy, right? You're creating your own happiness in that moment.
You did a great job in manifesting those chocolate donuts, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did it for 6 months.
My gosh. And it's like your parents always said to you, be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
You're going to get it. And that's essentially what this is. And that's what happened to you. But all the more better because the donuts deflected your attention elsewhere. I just think
but it did. It deflected it, but it wasn't really getting at the root of the problem, which was I was afraid of certain things.
Right.
But I needed to learn that lesson, right? I needed to learn that chocolate donuts were only a Band-Aid to what I was still truly feeling. I had to see in that moment that the feelings that were coming up were an opportunity for me to sit with it, B, really get to the root of what was going on, and B, transmute it into love. And the way to love is through gratitude. I'm so grateful. Thank you, universe, for showing me that I felt this way about myself. I really don't feel that way about myself anymore. This is the way I feel. And this is how I'm going to carry myself going forward. And that was literally the steps I had to take. And, sometimes we, especially for belief, when energy is deep rooted or deep seated, it's really an opportunity. It's going to come up again and again until you finally start, saying, no, I'm not available for this story anymore. I'm grateful that you've shown this to me, but I'm not available for this story. This is who I am now. Right. So you can move to that state of gratitude and appreciation, but at some point, confidence, gratitude's going to get you there. Confidence is what's going to keep you there.
And faith, right?
And faith. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Confidence and faith. Faith is the driving factor, right? Your belief is your faith. But once you get there, it's no, I know who I am. I'm confident in who I am. And I have faith that I'm going to get everything that is meant for me, right? Because I decide, right? I trust my soul. I know what's meant for me, and I have nothing to worry about, right? That's the confidence. That's also faith in what's going on in here. You have to have faith in what's going on in here, 100%, 100% of the time.
I have much gratitude for you.
Oh, thank you.
What you do. I know. I really, really, really mean that. It's you back up things that I wonder about. And I've been, learning about this and studying it.
I appreciate that.
Trying to practice it. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Even just, the things that you said today, it's that's it. I feel that I'm on the right path of many of these things. And we talk about it so others can see this.
Yes.
But yeah, you just back it all up. And this is what you're still studying it. You're on a retreat right now in Costa Rica.
Yes.
By the way, considering where you are, can I get a spicy margarita?
I don't drink alcohol, but they do. They do have drinks here.
Yeah, well, I try not to, but every once in a while, you got to try something different.
So the thing is about here, it's they have these little restaurants. You just drive down the road and there's just a restaurant, and this one just was calling to me. The food here was amazing. It was just perfect. 100%, so good.
The universe sends you signs. You see them. I've been saying, and I just said the other day, I bucket list. I need to travel alone. I've never done it. Been on a plane, by myself, but I met up with people I know.
Yes.
And then there you are. And I mentioned, I had no idea how you traveled. And you did. It's almost as if the universe just said, hello.
Yeah.
There's another reason.
I'm the messenger.
You're the messenger. Thank you very much for
exactly.
that. And I'm so excited for you. Yeah. And, me in the future, soon, manifest, that I'm going to do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It's
and that's my, I really feel like that's my mission on this earth is really, I'm a guide. I'm a messenger for other people, right?
Totally.
I've done the work.
Totally.
I don't want you to have to go through all the trials and tribulations that I have had to, and I don't want to say trials and tribulations.
No, the lessons,
I'm grateful. The lessons, right?
Sure.
I had to go through those lessons in order to become who I am today. But without those lessons, I couldn't be on the mission that I am, which is to really show people that you are in the driver's seat of your life by your choices. And it's really, I am the messenger. I am here to guide others and teach others how this really works. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because it's really simple when you understand the basics. It gets a little bit more complicated because we don't know how to apply it, right? We're going with our logical mind here is fighting tooth and nail. It's that's not the way it works. I'm yeah, it is.
Like we said, when we're out of time, you're going to learn the lesson anyway. So you may as well get it right the first time and then move on. Website is your name, right? Please share.
Yes, it's www.suecarabello.com. My email is susan@suecarabello.com. You can follow me on Instagram at susancarabello_.
Wonderful talking with you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Have a fantastic time.
Yes, I will. And then you should try to solo travel. Even for a day or two. It's fabulous.
Oh, it's happening. There's not, I wonder if I should. No, I will. And I will catch up to get your notes on Costa Rica some other time offline.
Yes.
because
I will.
heard great stuff. All right. We'll catch
All
up
right.
soon.
Thanks. All right.
Thanks.
See ya. Thank you.
We'll be right
Bye.
back.
All right.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Can I touch this? Where does sand come from? Is this tree good for climbing? What happens if I mix these two things together? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Storing your guns securely is the best way to prevent family fire, including unintentional shootings. For more information on safe gun storage and ways to keep your family safe, visit endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org.
What do we keep in the attic? What's this thing called? Can I ride my bike backwards?
Like I said, kids are curious. It's up to us to keep them safe. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.